Good morning and welcome to today's session of Imagine America Radio, our continuing Career College Exposition webinar series. My name is Lee Doubleday and I'm the Director of Operations here at the Imagine America Foundation. Today's session is sponsored by Collegiate Housing Services. They take the hassle out of housing for students looking for housing assistance at career and technical institutions across the country. And it just so happens that this Universal Technical Institute campus in Dallas participates in Collegiate Housing Services. I'm excited today to talk to you today about the overlooked value of technical school certificates sponsored by Universal Technical Institute. UTI is this country's leading provider of high quality career-focused education at 13 locations nationwide. UTI is also a 20-year sponsor of the Imagine America Scholarship and Award programs, having provided admissions-based financial aid to more than 16,000 enrolling Imagine America students. Without taking valuable time from our presenter, let me refer any and all inquiries about the Imagine America Foundation and our scholarship programs to our website, which is www.imagine-america.org. Since our beginning in 1999, Imagine America remains a leading sponsor of scholarship aid to high school students. However, our country faces a serious shortage in certified automotive technicians, and we hear from employers in virtually all sections of the country desperately looking for qualified employees. So we need to do more. Our partner in today's presentation, again, is Universal Technical Institute, and joining us today to discuss in detail the looming automotive technician shortage and how UTI is helping meet this need is Dr. Stephen Coyle. Dr. Coyle is a nationally recognized expert in this area with an extensive K-12 background, so you're in good hands today. But before turning the program over to Dr. Coyle, let me outline today's agenda. Today's session of Imagine America Radio will be 30 minutes maximum, with question and answers at the end of the presentation. All participants can submit questions while the presentation is in session via the Q&A feature in this Zoom meeting. At the end of the presentation, I will then present any questions offered by the participants, and we'll address as many questions as possible and provide written responses and follow-up emails if necessary. So without taking any more time out of today's presentation, let me turn today's session over to Dr. Stephen Coyle. Dr. Coyle, the floor is yours.
Well, good morning, everyone. Thank you, Lee, for that introduction. I want to reach out to you. My name is Dr. Stephen Coyle. As he said, I'm the National Director of Council and Academic Relations at Universal Technical Institute. Been in education for over 40 years and served as a high school teacher, coach, and administrator. So anyway, I'm looking forward to today's presentation with you. And let's get right into it. Briefly about UTI, our campus locations, we are located nationwide. We have now 14 campuses with our 2 new campuses in Austin and our campus in Miramar, Florida, will bring us to 14 campuses nationwide. So that national presence is very important. And as you can see, there is a campus in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. As far as what we offer 8 STEM career opportunities: auto, diesel, collision, motorcycle, marine, NASCAR, CNC, and welding. But what I really like to point out is the number of career opportunities within these 8. The amount is just limitless of the opportunities that are available to people today to get into the transport. One of I think the most important aspects of our program is the alliance with over 35 manufacturers. These, as I say, are the big dogs of the industry. Companies like Ford, GM, BMW, just to name a few, are the companies that we work with to get our students. As I often say, we're not preparing our students for Jiffy Lube. We're preparing our students to go to work for these companies because they are very stable companies and they offer career opportunities. But enough about UTI. I'm here to talk to you about you today and you work with young people today. As you know, it's becoming more and more challenging with the career pathways, the career readiness that's out there. And so hopefully with today's session, I can give you some insight on what you're looking at today. First of all, we talk about education beyond high school and about how important that's becoming. But when I say education, I didn't say college. I said education. That means college, but it also means other career pathway possibilities. Oftentimes we pit these two against each other, specific technical skills and general education application skills. But in reality, they go hand in hand. Yes, the economy is demanding that we offer more specific technical skill training, but we also have to remember, as far as general education application, those are skills too. Yes, it takes skills to work on a car, to work on a truck, to build a home, to plumb, to weld. It takes specific skills to do that, but it also takes specific skills to deal with people. We call people skills. That's a skill in itself. The being able to communicate clearly and concisely, that's a skill. Being able to write, that is a skill too. So these two go hand in hand together. We need to recognize that students need both of these. What you may not know is that nearly all of the certificates, 94% and nearly 60% of associate degrees are awarded in career-oriented fields. You hear your students say, yeah, I'm going off to college, or I'm going off here or there. And so you assume they're going to get a bachelor's degree and then maybe a master's degree. But in reality, they're not. They're off getting something where they get a certificate or a diploma of some kind or an associate's degree. And it's going to be in a career-oriented field, because that's what young people are looking for today. They want to get into something that they can get in quick, they can get out and get employed and start making money. And so you need to recognize that when students say they're going off to whatever post-secondary opportunity they have, what are they really looking for? And we need to feed that when we're advising students on their career opportunities that are available to them. 50% of students taking undergraduate coursework are enrolled in certificate and associate degree programs. That kind of goes hand in hand with what I just said. That we tend to think that students are all going off to get a bachelor's degree, and that's just not true any longer. Many of them are not. Now, once again, I am not putting down the bachelor's degree or master's degree. Those are important if that's the career pathway that student is choosing. But they may not be important if they're choosing a different career pathway. Like, for instance, they wanted to be a welder. Probably a bachelor's degree or master's degree, although it won't hurt them, but it's not necessary that they have it. So they can avoid a lot of time, a lot of energy, and a lot of expense to get into the career pathway that they are looking for. So we have to take that into account as well. The other thing that as educators that we need to be in tune is what is being offered with these technical certificate programs. Many schools will offer you the program, but do they follow up after that? Because in order to be a complete program, such as UTI, we offer the industry relationships. I just showed you the over 35 alliances with manufacturers that we have, that we work with. Occupationally focused curriculum. We are a true STEM school, but what we do is we align students with industry through our curriculum. So that's important too. But then the third part, it may be the most important, employment assistance after they finish the program. Why are students going to school in the first place? I mean, what are they looking for? They're looking for a career. They want to make money. They eventually want to have a family. They want to buy a car. They want to buy a house. They want to have all those things. So that's why they're going to school in the first place. But so many young people today, in fact, many, not just young people, but people in general, they go to get training or assistance like that, and then they don't have anything to show for it. They didn't finish the program because they weren't helped along the way. They weren't encouraged along the way. And then if they do complete it, they come out, they're wanting to go to work, but there's nothing available for them. They got no assistance or help of any kind. So that's why it's important when you're looking for a true technical certificate program, look for all three of these aspects: the industry relationships, the occupationally focused curriculum, and the employment assistance, because all three of those go hand in hand with each other. I want to switch gears here for just a second because we're really excited about this program. What we found is that at UTI, of our total student population, about 4% are female. Kind of embarrassed to say that, but we're not the only school like that. It seems like in our particular area, it's become male dominated, and we're trying to change that. So one of the partnerships that we have gotten now is with Ignite Worldwide. Ignite is an acronym. It stands for Inspiring Girls Now in Technology Evolution. we're very proud to be partnered with them, because what we're trying to do is invite more females into STEM programs like what we have in the transportation industry, but also into other skilled trades programs too. But the idea is to expose these girls to what's available to them out there. Their mantra is, you can't be what you can't see. And I love that because it's so true. Think about yourselves. How many of you know a woman who is a welder or a plumber or an auto technician or a diesel technician or a carpenter? You know, how many of you know females that are in that? Not very many, because I can't say I do either. You know, and the other thing we're trying to spell is, when there is a female in that, why does it have to be a novelty? Why does it have to be, oh my gosh, they've got a woman working here in this? You know, we want to get away from that. We want this to be everyday life, because they bring the same skill set to the table as men do. And so this program is really helping to take care of that. The vision is just to get more females involved in technical skills, to expose them to what is available out there. Kathy Rajveller is the CEO and founder. She started this in the Seattle schools in 1998. And so we joined with them this year to see if we can help bring some clout to what they're trying to do. The program is really four parts. Number one is panels. In fact, we're hosting an event right now, this very minute, at our NASCAR Tech campus. We're expecting about 110 girls there for this event. So we have panels set up, and these are panels of women in STEM who are very successful, so these girls can ask some questions and find out more about how they got there, what they do. We offer field trips. We bring them to our campus so they can see a true STEM school and see how they can get their training that they need at a school like ours. And then workshops. What better way than to expose them to STEM activities? Let them do it. For instance, welding. We have welding simulators, so we can put them on those so they can actually weld. They can actually experience it and see if it's something they like to do. And then, of course, we support conferences where they can go to breakout sessions and, once again, talk to females in STEM, females who are successful, and find out, how did you do it? How did you get there? The Ignite Worldwide program is award-winning. It's sponsored through the National Science Foundation, the Anita Borg Social Impact Award, and the Department of Education State National Best Practice Award. So this program is gaining momentum. And I think one of the most astounding statistics that I've ever seen is when we talk about the number of females in STEM then versus now. This was actually a study that was done in the Seattle area schools, and it was over a 3-year period, where the initial findings were that less than 5% of females were involved in STEM careers. Within 3 years, that number jumped to over 50%. That's astounding. But it also shows you that you can't be what you can't see, that these girls didn't know this was available to them. And so that's why it was less than 5%. When we started educating them, showing them, hey, here's what's available to you, here's what you can do, then we see a huge jump, because the interest is there. They want to do it. You know, it's just like the pioneers. It's scary jumping into that when you're one of the first ones. So we're trying to help them overcome that and be part of STEM. So, you know, back to UTI and our I guess our partners that we have. We're very proud of the fact that we partner with many organizations, such as Imagine America Foundation, where we are, you know, right now, but also with Future Farmers of America, with Hot Rodders of Tomorrow, with Skills USA, with the Top Tech Challenge. And we're really proud and excited. And this is going to be happening at our FFA convention in Indianapolis the end of this month. But our first agricultural alliance, and that's with AGCO Corporation and specifically Fendt Tractors. And we're going to have a huge booth there at the FFA convention showing that partnership. But that's what we do. We work with these types of organizations. We offer scholarships, things to help students to achieve their dreams. But these kind of programs have proven to be very very helpful in getting students involved in, our type of education. We offer over $15 million in scholarships and grants. We have all kinds of different types of scholarships we offer, but one of the most important things that I love to talk about is our trip package. Our trip package, which stands for Tuition Reimbursement Incentive Program. I don't know about you all, but we have difficulty getting students to fill out scholarships. And I can actually see your heads nodding up and down that you feel the same way. It's hard to get them to do that for some reason. But the TRIP program has proven to be very beneficial to us, because what it does, we have many dealerships across the country, and they offer incentives for students to come to work for them. Just stands to reason. They need technicians, just like the medical field needs nurses and doctors and techs like that. In the transportation industry, it's the same thing. And so with the Tuition Reimbursement Incentive Program, they will offer packages where they will pay our graduates, upon hiring them, on top of their salary, they will give them an extra $200, $300, $400 a month, so they can pay off their student loans, so they can buy tools, to help them relocate to their new location, all these kind of things, sign-on bonuses. These things are all offered through these companies. We're having a huge career fair right now at the Dallas-Fort Worth campus this afternoon, and the TRIP program will be discussed with the students there as well. So anyway, I just want to make you aware of this, because it's a way for students to make education affordable. We always hear this about, students coming out with thousands and thousands of dollars of student loan debt. That's not necessary. There are ways to get around that, and our TRIP program is an excellent way to make that happen. So the key takeaways today, if you got nothing out of this, I want you to get two things. Number one, high school counselors and educators can strengthen all post-secondary education pathways, including certificate programs. It's important that you recognize all of your students and the career pathways that they choose, where they want to go. That's huge. The days of this being plan B, they're over, because students are demanding different career pathways. Yes, you have some of your students, they are college bound, they're going to go to college or university, and that's great, because they want to become a teacher, they want to become a doctor or a lawyer, or something along those lines. So obviously they need that kind of education. But you also have a number of students in your schools that are not built like that. They love working with their hands. They love taking things apart and putting things back together again. And that's what I talk about when I speak at counselor conferences. Like I was just at Colorado last week, and talking about that, the road signs. We all know what a stop sign is and a yield sign is. Do you know what the signs are that your students are giving off to you? You've got to pay attention to those. If you can see they're restless in class, they're just not the lecture oriented person. They want to work with their hands, do those kind of things. So we need to recognize all career pathways, not just the colleges and universities, but also the other CTE level courses, the skilled trades courses, things that students can pick up. And you as educators, you're in a position to advise students on what they want to do. And so it's so important that you buy into that. And then the second takeaway is higher education leaders are instrumental in enabling students to acquire education beyond high school. We need to convey to students that it's important to get training of some type. Yes, there are some students that are going to leave high school and they're going to go right on into work. And I'm not saying that's bad. It's not. That might be what they want to do. But we have to remember that with training, that enhances their ability to gain employment, to get into a career that they want. And we have to also think from the side of employers. What are they looking for? They're looking for skills. What do you bring to the table? And the more skills you bring to the table, the more marketable you are, the more valuable you are to that company, to that employer. So we have to keep those things in mind as well too. So these are really the two most important takeaways that I want you to gain from this. And then finally, before I close, I just want to say, I'm a retired educator. As I told you, as a teacher, coach, principal, I've been there, done that, bought the t-shirt. I know exactly what you guys do on a daily basis, and I commend you for what you do, especially in these times. Coming out of COVID, we're still feeling the effects from that, all that too. So we know that your students are that you're helping your students to understand the economy and education. That you're giving them facts about career readiness and career pathways, and that you're encouraging to do that. But we can help. We can help you. We love to partner with counselors. I partner with counselors all over the country. I speak at your state counselor conferences. I offer curriculum ideas. I was just emailing some counselors last night out in Colorado that had asked me for some information. We can host your students at an open house, or we can visit your school. In fact, I was asked to announce by John Chambers, he is our regional admissions director at the Dallas campus, is that on November the 13th, we're hosting a future student workshop and an open house at our campus. And please come by. It's free. We'll feed you. We usually have pizza or something there to eat, but bring your students, bring parents. We all know the difficulty with parents, so invite them to come too. So we can do those kind of things, but you can come to our campus, or we can come to your school. We can do workshops for you to help share the career pathways in the 8 major STEM fields. Where that's what the economy is demanding today. So we can come in and do those. And if you still have issues with COVID, we can do those virtually still. But we're kind of getting back in person now, so we would love to come by and help you with your students any way possible. And we can talk about the scholarship opportunities and the housing. For instance, Collegiate Housing, special shout out to them for sponsoring today's webinar. But Collegiate Housing, we offer housing grants to help students to get started with their housing opportunities there. And Collegiate Housing offers that huge benefit to our students. So anyway, we just want to partner with you any way we possibly can to help you. And of course, you can reach out to me. That's my contact information. That's my email address. Please feel free to reach out to me. And if there's anything I can do to help you to explore some of these possibilities, I would invite you to please reach out to me. Thank you so much for spending part of your morning with me. And I wish you the best of luck for the rest of your school year. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Dr. Coyle. We are now going to open this up for the Q&A portion of our presentation. I also have a poll question launched there. If you would like somebody to contact you via email about somebody from Universal Technical Institute presenting to your students, please indicate so on the poll so that we know who to reach out to. Dr. Coyle, my first question comes from someone who wants to know if they wanted to talk to one of Universal Technical Institute's local representatives. Should they go to the website or just contact yourself directly?
Well, that's really, you've got a couple of options there. You can always go to our website, uti.edu. It's real easy, and you can make an inquiry. You can actually do it right there online. You send your contact information, and then someone will reach out to you from the campus or the particular rep for your school district or your area will reach out to you. But probably the easiest way is just reach out to me. Just email me. You got my email address right there. Feel free to reach out to me and say, hey, I need some help. That's what many counselors do. And they'll reach out and say, hey, I'm looking for a workshop for my school district. Can you please make that happen? And I'll be glad to help you in any way I can.
Yeah, I think we made some really good points about the overlooked value of certificate programs, especially in career and technical education. But this next question, we get this question a lot, Dr. Coyle. This person wants to know about cost comparisons with community colleges. Maybe can you talk to a little bit about the difference between, attending a Universal Technical Institute versus a community college, and why somebody may want to choose your school over a community college?
Absolutely. I was waiting for that question to come, because you're right. We do get it pretty often. As far as comparing the two, there's several factors you have to look at. First of all, those 3 letters ROI are huge, return on investment. And so, just because something is less expensive than something else doesn't mean it might be the best way to go. The first area that I would look at is the time you're going to spend in school. At the community college, you're going to be there 2 to 3 years. At UTI, you're going to be there about a year, 10 to 17 months, depending on, actually 9 to 17 months if you do welding, depending upon the program that you choose, but you're going to be there a lot less longer. The other thing too is that at UTI, we go straight through. We don't take summers off. We don't do spring breaks because the industry doesn't. We want to train students to get prepared for going into their specific career. So that's another reason why we're able to get done more quickly. Probably the biggest one though is the trip package that we offer. That is huge because it allows students to be able to get a quality education and get manufacturer specific training, which is another difference too, that's going to set us apart from many of the community colleges, that we do manufacturer specific training with 37 manufacturers. You know, some of the community colleges may have 1 or 2. We have 37. And so students get quite a choice there. But the TRIP program allows them to gain this kind of top quality education, you know, at an affordable price. And you have to remember too, that there are only 38 true STEM schools in the United States, and UTI is one of them.
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know about that. That's the first time I've heard you say that on the presentation. That's cool. Okay, just a few things here as we're wrapping up. I just want to let everybody know that we have recorded this session and I will be forwarding it to all of our registrants here today. I'll also be placing it on our website, which again is www.imagine-america.org. There is a survey when you leave this presentation, if you wouldn't mind helping us out with some feedback. It's only 4 questions, so any feedback would be very helpful for us. Before closing, I want to thank each and every one of you for taking time out of your busy schedules to join us today. I'd also like to thank Dr. Coyle for sharing with us today's presentation and encourage each of you to contact him directly with any future questions. On behalf of the Imagine America Foundation, Dr. Coyle and myself, I want to thank you and goodbye.